Hi everybody, welcome back to another video tutorial on drawing with me. Who am I? I'm Daniel Marler. So this is called Drawing with Daniel. So this is the first video I'll be posting on drawing an elephant. This drawing video on elephant is geared more towards the younger elementary students. So you're anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to fourth or fifth grade, but ideally probably first, second, or third grade student, or a student that is kind of new at drawing or just now starting to get some of their drawing abilities. So this is a very simplistic, kind of a cartoony elephant. The next elephant video drawing video that is on elephants that I post will be more realistic elephant drawing for the more for the older student, for the student that has more abilities in drawing. So, okay, so that's enough talkity talk. Let's get to the drawing. All right, so we've talked about in other videos using colored pencils, watercolor, Crayolas, markers, pencil. So I'm going to use colored pencil this time. So I'm going to use this kind of dark one. This one is called a warm gray. It's like a 90% warm gray, so it's not quite black, but it's a dark gray. Normally I wouldn't sketch out something at first with such a dark pencil, but this way it will show up better for the camera. Okay, so remember we talked about it. If you've watched any of my other videos on drawing a fox, drawing a horse, or any of the future videos I'll be doing, you're always going to be starting out with simple shapes. So we're going to use a lot of circles in this one. Circles are pretty simple. So let's start right away. We're going to do a big circle right here. You can use a pencil, regular #2 yellow pencil you use in your classroom. You can use a special drawing pencil. You can use a Crayola. You can use colored pencil, whatever you want to do. You don't have to do it exactly like me. You be a unique individual. You use what you want to use. You use what you have available to you. All right, let's do another circle. These circles are going to interlock each other. This one will be a little smaller, though, than the first one. A little smaller, maybe a little wider. It's a little wider. There you go. Can you see that okay? See the big first circle right here? It's a little bigger. The next one, it's interlocking or intersecting. It's a little smaller, but it's a little wider. Now we're going to do a third circle. It will be interlocking on the other side. It'll be similar to that very first one we did, about the same size. Don't worry, don't get frustrated if it's not exactly the same. It doesn't matter. This isn't a photograph, it's a drawing. You have your 3 interlocking circles there. Now we need one big circle. One big circle. This is our elephant. I love elephants. They're such a beautiful animal. Okay, so we have a big circle. We have 3 interlocking circles. These 2 are kind of the same size and a bigger one there in the middle. Kind of see what we're doing here? These are going to be our ears. This will be our head. This will be our body. So ear, head, ear, body, elephant. Let's write that on there. Fun. All right, elephant. There's 3 types of elephants. Where there are African bush elephants, there are African forest elephants, and there are Asian elephants. Don't know if you knew that or not. Remember when we talked about it in one of our other videos? Let me stop and get a little drink here. When you're looking for reference material to draw, whether you're using a book from your library or a book that you personally own, or from the bookstore, or you're Googling images online on the internet to find pictures of elephants, don't just look at the pictures, read about them as well. The more you know about what you're drawing, the better you'll be able to draw it. So learn some facts about elephants, like the facts that I just gave you a moment ago. They are the largest land animal on the planet. Notice I didn't say the largest animal on the planet. I said the largest land animal on the planet. All right, we're gonna repeat this over here, but I'm gonna leave out some of those lines that I won't need. Here we go. Here's that first circle we drew. Here's the second one. There's the third one. Oh, it's the other ear, remember? Here's a big, I'm going to draw like that. I'm going to make some little dotted lines. These are, I won't have these in on the next stage. These dotted lines will kind of show you where those lines were that we're leaving off. Then we're going to add one more thing to this stuff. I'll show it to you up closer in a moment. What is swinging from the bottom of his head? His trunk. There we go. So those are dotted lines. See where those lines used to be? We don't need those anymore. I'm just showing you where they were. And then we use basic shapes of circles of different sizes. Now we use, what was that other? Remember, I've used this one a lot in my other videos. What do I keep calling that shape? A tube, or you can call it a cylinder. This is a tube. All I did was I bent that tube like that. I bent it. So it's still a tube. It's just I bent it. I curved it. And that is the trunk. Those trunks on elephants can lift up to almost 700 pounds. So they're very strong. They're used for breathing. They're used for making, picking up things, making noises, that sort of thing. So there's some more elephant facts for you. Did you know the elephant brain weighs almost, I think, around 12 pounds in comparison to a human brain, which weighs about 4 pounds. So it's 3 times heavier, bigger than a human brain. All right, so I'm going to draw the same thing over here, and I'm going to leave out those dotted lines this time. Here we go. There's one ear. There's its head. What's it got on the other side? Those ears are so big and floppy. They're so cute. Kind of like, think of Walt Disney's Dumbo. And you know their hearing is very good. I'm sure their hearing is, they can hear things from very far away with those ears. All right, I'm going to leave off some of this. So is it starting to look like an elephant? I got the ears, the head, and the big trunk. And his big body. Now, what do we got to add down here? His legs, his feet. He has 4 legs. So there's the 2 in the front. Now, we're not going to see all of them in the back, just kind of like when we did our side profile of our horse. You'll see part of them, but not all of them. So there's the 2 legs in the back. You only see part of it because it's blocked from view. Pretty cool, eh? What else I've been fascinated by elephants ever since I was a little kid, and I read a book about Hannibal back in ancient Roman times. He was a Carthaginian that led elephants over the Alps, which are big mountains in Italy, to invade that country. So that was a pretty neat story. I've always been fascinated by them ever since. They are very interesting creatures. They travel in what they call a herd. And the herd is mostly made up of female elephants. The boy or the male elephants only stay with the herd until puberty. So only when they're babies and children. And then once they get out into puberty area of age, the male elephants leave. Sometimes they will live with other male elephants, or sometimes they live on their own. But an elephant herd is made up of mostly female elephants who stay together forever for the rest of their lives. And then their children are both boys and girls. Till the boys get bigger, then they have to leave. Sorry, guys. Elephant, there's some little black eyes. Make the little eyes cute. Elephants are what we call herbivores. Herbivores are an animal that their physiology, their body is designed to eat plant material. So elephants eat mostly plants and other vegetation. And the elephant can eat, I believe, anywhere between 200 and 600 pounds of food per day. So they spend at least 12 hours, sometimes a lot longer each day eating. They have to eat a lot of food. So if you're going to buy an elephant, you better stock up. Lots of food. There we go. There's our, and we added some, used some triangles. Once again, another simple shape. Triangle for his tusk. Those are part of his teeth. See how we did that? You can make his eyes bigger or smaller. So there's our elephant. Let's add some things to it. We make some, I like to put little lines here. Have you ever gone to the zoo and looked at the elephants? They have some kind of lines. They're very wrinkly, aren't they? So you can put lines on them. What about his toes? You ever notice the elephant's feet when you see him on TV or at the zoo? Let's make some toes. Like that. So there's a good basic elephant. And we could color in. What color are elephants typically? They're typically a gray color, right? So I have a gray pencil here. I'm going to use the side of the pencil because I don't want it to be really dark. I'm just going to notice how I'm using a light motion. I'm not bearing down on the paper. Light circular motion as I'm passing to make that elephant. I might use some other color here in a minute. You color your elephant whatever color you want to. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. I don't want your drawings to look exactly like mine. You're a unique, special individual. That's what makes you so cool. You're different than everybody else. I'm different than everybody else. Your stuff does not have to look exactly like mine. Do not get frustrated if it doesn't. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. All right, how do you like that? See how we use the light pressure on that? But these two legs in the back, they're in the back. They're behind us. The shadow's getting cast on them. I'm actually going to press down a little harder and make them look a little darker. See how I did that? I'm going to make it a little darker right underneath the ears. This shadowing makes your drawing look more three-dimensional. Doesn't make your drawing, otherwise your drawing will look kind of flat. And that's okay when you're first starting out. But in future videos, I'll do a video just on shadow alone. And it's very important. It makes your drawing look more realistic. Notice how I turned my paper around? I got it upside down right now. So I can get to the areas that I want to the best. Okay, now look at it with the shadowing. It looks more three-dimensional. There's more shape to it. It looks like it more like it's going to pop off the page. I think what I want is a little bit of pink. A little bit of pink. I'm going to put it down there. I want a little bit on his ears and his trunk and maybe at the bottom of his feet. Look at that. What else could we do to it? We could make it kind of funny looking by putting how about a little curly hair on him, on the top of his head. So you, like I said, you do whatever you want color-wise. You could use the Crayolas. I have a black Crayola and a gray Crayola here. I could have used Crayola instead of the colored pencil. Maybe I don't want it to be gray like you normally would see an elephant. Maybe this elephant is from a magical land and he is going to be purple. And I'm using Crayolas. You probably have some Crayolas around the house. Don't you? I bet you do. I have my Crayola box here. Here you go. See? I am going to make a purple elephant. So do you remember the 3 types of elephants I told you about? You remember? I bet you do. It was the African bush elephant, the African forest elephant, and there is the Asian elephant. they have, you know, specific features that make them unique because of the environment they live in. Look at that. A purple elephant with simple Crayolas that I know you probably have. What else does he need though? If he's an elephant, he needs some grass. Give me some grass to eat. Let's do some grass. Notice how even in this one, I turn it upside down. Turn that paper, don't be afraid to turn the paper different directions to help you. I'll put my Crayolas here. I'm digging this Crayola stuff. I should have been using those from the beginning. I want a little bit of yellow in that grass. These on the African plains there. Cool. What would we see in the sky? Maybe some clouds. See how our picture's coming together? What else would we see? How about this elephant? He really appreciates the way you drew him so much that he loves you. Look at that. Let's write his name here. What's his name going to be? This is going to be Eddie the elephant. There we go. Eddie the elephant. Now, when you give your drawing to your mom or dad or your grandma or grandpa or maybe a friend or whatever, don't forget to put your name on it, or you can put your initials. That's what some artists do. DM is my initials, and I put a 20 there because it's 2020. That they know what year I did it. And you know what would be neat for you to do is to put your age on there too. So you can put over here maybe a different color. What color do I want? How about I don't know what color it is. Oh, that's purple again. I don't want purple. I do brown. You can put age. And you put whatever age you are there. You can put age, put it big. Because your mom, your grandma, whatever, will appreciate that because they'll keep this for years and years to come. And then when later they're looking through it, they go, oh, my little Bobby drew this. And he was only 5 years old when he did it. Oh, and he gave it to me. So how about that, guys? That was our elephant drawing. This was a basic, almost cartoony elephant. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your elephant looks good. Remember, don't draw it exactly like mine. Remember, we're using basic figures and shapes. Lots of circles in this one. We had the one tube that we bit, a couple little triangles down there. Your elephant doesn't have to have the tusk. You can make the tusk longer if you wanted to. Some tusks are going to be really long. Some elephants, you're not going to see the tusk. That's up to you. You can be whatever color you want. You gray, purple, whatever. Put them in a little scene. Maybe some a mountain range in the background. And way, way far away, miles away would be kind of neat. So you make them kind of small so we know that they're real far away. Remember, these back legs are going to be a little darker than the two front legs. Be sure and put your shadows in there. Here, I didn't do it so much in this one. I did it with the first one. Those things that are darker, that trunk's casting a shadow. All right. See how I made it a little darker here? Because these big ears are on top of that. So it's going to be casting a shadow. These legs in the back are further behind. So the body and everything are casting a shadow. This trunk is in front of the body. So there's going to be a little shadow there. Right there. I made it a little darker. That makes it look more three-dimensional, doesn't it? Makes it pop a little more. Compared to this right here, there's no shadow on that one, right? It looks more flat. Doesn't look as lifelike. There's more shadow on these so they're coming to life. What about that? All right, guys, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Please put any comments down below, whether you liked it or not, or if there's an animal you would like to see me drawing next. I will be doing another elephant that will be more realistic for the more advanced artists. But I don't care whether you're advanced or not. You should watch it and you'll learn something. I'll use the same techniques, basic shapes and figures. After that elephant video, I had a request to do a rabbit, and since Easter is just around the corner, it would be appropriate to do an Easter rabbit for you. So maybe you could draw an Easter rabbit and you can send it to your grandma or your grandpa or give it to a friend or other family member. Okay, so thanks for joining, guys. I hope you had fun. Keep practicing, keep drawing, don't give up, and have a great day. Bye now.